And gentlemen, a warm welcome to this channel and the special episode where we delve into the world of the highly anticipated the Sony A6700, the latest APS-C camera from Sony. Today, we'll be explore some key aspects that set this camera apart, including the ergonomics, the autofocus performances, and the advantages of an APS-C camera in 2023. So buckle up and let's dive into it. The Sony A6700 and upgrade over its predecessor, the A6600 and A6500. Anyway, stands out with its small and compact form factor, making it a breeze to carry around, especially when paired with a full-frame batteries for extended uses. Bloggers will be pleased to know that the camera boasts non-factoring microphones, ideal for capturing high-quality audio during recording. However, the purposes of this discussion, we will primarily focus on this photography, capabilities. The Sony A6700 introduces a host of enhancements to its controls, such as dedicated switch for seamlessly toggling between photo, video, and S and Q. That means slow motion and quick motion length, something like time-lapse video shooting or much more, providing a user-friendly experience. Particularly, back buttons have been thoughtfully redesigned, featuring a prominent red button for swift access to the rack focus feature. Furthermore, a new wheel that back enables convenient adjustment of the setting like aperture, white balance, while the absence of dedicated joystick for moving the focus point might pose a minor convenience for some. Fears not, it can still accomplish with the pad or wheel, offering alternative means of control. One standout feature is the improved flip screen, which lends itself a beautiful compact setup for bloggings, especially when coupled up with an external microphone, ensuring the superior audio quality. Autofocus performance takes center stage with the Sony A6700, revealing when the flagship models like A7R5, the full-frame one, the AI autofocus seamlessly tracks subjects with remarkable accuracy. The camera also performs the best out of the full-frame lenses, something sort of 16-35 f2.8 Sony GM lenses, which is also something like 2 kidneys roundabout. So this is not the coolest lens for the amateur photographer or those who want to get started into this adventurous photography journey or videography journey. So another lens other than that, 70-200 f4 or something like newer Viltrox lenses that recently arrived, 16mm 1.4, or any other Viltrox lenses for the APS-C mount or full frame mount will also support. Right now I am using the 1650 OSS lens for Sony crop E-mount lenses onto my full frame A7C, but you can also use this lens too as a kickstarter to your APS-C journey with the A6700. Nothing goes wrong. The quality straight out of this camera will be blow out your mind if you gonna use it once in a while. Noteworthy features include 26 megapixels and versatile 4K shooting options, something like 120 FPS. Shooting between APS-C and full frame depends on the desired depth of field and low light performances, with full frame excelling in bokeh and shallow depth of field. Upgrading from an APS-C camera may be a worthwhile, but if you are already into a full frame, owns a full frame camera or something like me, like A7S to A7C, A7III, A74, or A7, photo and video centric all-round performance oriented camera, which denotes with the first word A7 Alpha 7, then you are in a full frame genre. It may not be necessary for you depending on which types of content you are currently shooting, whether you are a hobbyist photographer or something like cinematography is your hobby or passion. Then you're gonna go to the camera center, go and buy the Sony A6700. It's my highly recommended camera for all of you in 2023. This is the game changer. Right now, my opinion is that to use this A6700 camera over ZVE10, you maybe the compact interchangeable low-end budget camera which costs around 600 to 700. Why this camera and this camera apart from each other? Because this camera, something like I'm talking about the Sony ZV-10 versus Sony A6700 camera, is that the Sony ZV-10 is also capable of shooting such kind of features, but some sort of AI technologies that are evolving in new era, something sort of it gonna dominating the era of 20s, mid 20s. Right now we are in the mid 20s, 2023. Next upcoming 4 or 5 years, it will be a game-changing technology for all of the cameras. Recently, they are coming out with all of the bird, eye, car, and so much more objects tracking features embedded onto the camera itself. So the Sony has changed the game plan for their camera model, and hopefully we're gonna be expected a lot more from the Sony industry, because the mirrorless is the future, the AI is the future. When both jam-packed with all of the stuffs with all together, then it will be a good choice to the end users who are wanted to get started with their photography with this APS-C camera. But as soon as that they move throughout the professional lineup, I think they should go for the Sony A7 model or higher end Sony as per their demand. So I hope you have learned a lot of things from the Sony A6700 review, though the camera is not here to represent, but I have discussed a wrap up about, in a nutshell, what is the Sony A6700 and who's the target audiences for this type of camera. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, Cope, for the latest tech updates and much more.